All right, what's up? It's Nick and John here, post-fight podcast, UFC 257 press conference reaction. John, what's going on, man?
Same old shit, different smell, man. That's how it is.
Oh yeah, it's the second show I've done today.
Are you
I've lost
getting
count how many
podcast
days.
fatigue? Is that what's happening?
I'm getting general MMA fatigue again. This in the second fight week of the year. I'm already fatigued.
Yeah, well, it's not the second fight week. It's one continuous
Well, yeah.
fight week over like 14 days, right? So it is a rough time for any editor of a website or newspaper or whatever you have and covering this week.
Well, I just, as I was telling you earlier, interviewed Paul Felder a couple hours ago, and yeah, that dude looked so tired, so jet lagged. It looked like he was trying to sleep, but the cars were racing around Yas Marina Circuit outside his window in the hotel, so he couldn't sleep. And I was talking to him a little bit about how, yeah, in the media it's been crazy this week, three fights in 1 week, and he said, "Oh yeah, I know, brother, it's the same for us." And yeah, I was coming off. I worked about 16 hours yesterday for that UFC midweek card, and now we're straight back into it for 257. So let's keep it going, man. No
Let's do it.
complaints
Let's
from
do
me.
it.
Let's do it. Yeah, so Conor McGregor, Dustin Poirier, Dan Hooker, and Michael Chandler all stood up on stage, all sat down on stage, should I say. Got together for some face-offs, this and that. Overall, though, John, not too much controversy. Pretty tame, I think the whole thing was. I don't think there were too many sound bites you could take away from that. It's kind of
There
annoying.
was not much there, I mean,
Jack shit.
nothing that yeah, it was disappointing at some levels, right? It was not the press conference that we're used to from Conor McGregor because he could have it was like he was the guy in charge of where the press conference goes. And he took it to the respectful, the humble, you know? He took it that way, right? And it didn't go as we expected. But it is what it is, I mean? You can't have everything go the way you want it to go. And we're gonna get some crazy, crazy fights at 257, and that's all we know 100%. And I was expecting them to come in and Dana White say like, "Hey, we change our minds. We're gonna put this lightweight title on, up for grabs in this main event," but there was
Did you
nothing in
really
that.
think they'd do it?
I was thinking that, what I mean? I was thinking that last week when they had the meeting and Dana White said we're gonna have a big announcement during the main card of Fight Island 7. I think it was Fight Island 7, or I don't even know. Was it 7 or I think, yeah, it was 7, right? With the Max Holloway and the big ABC thing, right? And it didn't happen then because it was the announcement that was an announcement, which was like really shitty of Dana White to do. He just honey dicked us really hard, and we fell for it. And then I was thinking, okay, since he didn't do it then, maybe he's gonna do it at this press conference and make this press conference a little more exciting. But he didn't do anything. He didn't really say much. But one thing I noticed, Dana White was wearing the UFC PI Shanghai
Was
shirt.
he?
Yeah, on stage. And I was like, I wonder why. Did he just he never just wears something, right? It's just, why would he be wearing that shirt out of any day of the week, especially for the press conference? I don't know. Maybe there's gonna be something. Maybe he's doing something. Maybe he's filming something for the PI. Maybe they're gonna announce something for the Contender Series, or maybe they're gonna announce the main event in the next couple months at the PI in Shanghai between Wei Li and somebody for the title. I don't know, but this is just me speculating. But going back to the press conference, disappointed. I expected more. Dan Hooker actually came out and pretty much, I think, left the best impression on me by saying by giving Charles Oliveira a great nickname,
Charlie Olive.
Charlie Olives. Now, from now on, he's Charlie Olives forever. Future title fights, future number one contender fights, he's Charlie Olives, man. It's not even an insult. It's actually a cool name, don't you think, Nick?
For me, that's better than say Leon Edwards is Leon Scott. Colby Covington christening him Leon Scott, which I think more
Exactly.
people know him as Leon Scott now. But Charlie Olives is pretty cool. Yeah, good for Dan Hooker. There's no way that's an insult. I mean, olives. I love olives. Yeah, I had a whole jar of them the other night, John. So
He had a whole jar of
yeah,
olives.
it works
Well,
for keto, man. So it's okay.
well, he did call him Charlie Olives, and then he insulted him by saying he's got broomsticks thicker
Oh yeah, there you go.
than him. But I think Dan Hooker, he probably made it the press conference a little bit more livelier. But other than that, man, you got Dustin. Him and Conor were rubbing each other's backs, massaging each other all day, and then Chandler's just being his respectful self. And you got to respect Chandler for staying the course, man, because he's always been that guy. He's always been the guy that was respectful, always been that guy that, you know, that does it professionally from 1 to 100. It's just him, and he stayed that way. Dan, he brought a little bit of fire, and I expected Conor to just have a little bit more, but I don't know, man. It was disappointing. I expected to come on here and being able to just be like, all right, we're gonna be talking about some excitement during that press conference, but there was no excitement. And watch us go to 257 and get one of the worst fights in history in the main event. Just because Conor came to the press conference and just didn't do the damn thing, you know what I mean? Like he normally does, and I feel like a lot of people, they like this new humble version of Conor, and if that's him, that's him, you know what I mean? But we need that bad guy, man. We need the bad guy. We want the bad guy.
Look, Connor, as John Morgan brought up, in one of his final questions to Connor, there's this talk of this lawsuit. I think Connor's on his best behavior, isn't he? Already, Atar is over in Abu Dhabi, and I'm sure he's instructed Connor to keep in line. Don't say anything stupid. Connor's putting on a nice show, just like he did for Cerrone. Yeah, he was Mr. Nice Connor. Do we
Yeah,
need the bad guy though? Do we? I think he's still going to sell a million pay-per-views at least.
he will
But,
sell because
yeah,
he's Conor, right? But I don't know. I think he should promote it. You know what I mean? I think he should put on that swag. I think he should give us more than he has. But there could be something to that, Nick. I don't know for sure. Maybe
let's
he's
have
being a
a
good boy. Or
we'll have a
maybe
little.
him having his family there, he has his third kid coming on the way. Maybe he is changed and he is focused on his family and just being a good role model.
Well, even the face-off was nice, wasn't it? Look,
Yeah.
yeah, nothing really there. So this is all he said. You know what it is in there? We both know, and Dustin agreed. Maybe there's something in the fact that Dustin's charity. Conor brought that up and said Dustin revealed that actually Conor McGregor's company, McGregor Sports and Entertainment, are working with Dustin's charity, the Good Fight Foundation, to help that great cause. So probably getting the trash talk going will be a bit ingenuous. I think we did see Conor spark a couple times when people asked him about Khabib. Then something flickered a little bit, and he said, we're going to go get him. We're going to go get him. That guy's running from us. I think he saved the trash talk for the guy who wasn't there. I mean, Khabib is there in Abu Dhabi, right? He's going to be cage side as far as we know, right, John?
No, I guess he's not going to be cage side. From what people are saying is like he's leaving or he has already left after
Oh,
his
okay.
cousin fought. So I guess he's not going to be cage side, and that kind of sucks. I wish he was cage side. I wish he would be there. His presence is needed cage side for that pay-per-view for both the co-main and the main events, man. I want him to be there. I want to see what his reaction is to the fights, and even like after the fights, have him interview with somebody and get his reaction. I feel like, one thing about Khabib now, he's at this like status of like he can fart and people would write a story about it, right? Like pretty much anything. He would do something that a normal person would do, and then people will write a story about it. Like after his cousin choked out his opponent, right? Umar choked out his opponent, won the fight. Khabib walks over and hugs the other team. That's just something that normally happens, you know what I mean? Like it doesn't happen all the time, but it normally happens. But it seems like people are making a big deal out of that. And Khabib has gotten to this status of like that's what he is. Anything he does, he could be eating like a piece of bread and it's like news. Khabib ate some bread, right? Like that's a headline or something like that. So I don't know. So because of that, I feel like he should be there, but he's not. He's not going to be there, and I'm pretty sure Dana probably tried to convince him to, like, you need to be there, man. You need to be Casey. I'm going to give you what you need. You know what I mean? But Khabib said, like, I told my moms, like, my mom's told me not to fight. I told her, and she told me, and I'm like, I can't do anything. I got to get her permission. That's one of the purest things you're gonna ever see in this sport, right? Is Khabib saying to people, a grown man saying to reporters that I gotta go talk to my mom and I gotta get her permission. It's almost like a high school kid asking some girl on a date, and then he's gotta go ask the moms, like, can I go on a date? Let me get $10 and take her to the movies or something, right? It's a trip, man. But Khabib, I think he's retired, man. I don't think he's gonna come back. I think that
Yeah, I was saying he looked a little, I don't want to say fat, but maybe he had a couple of tiramisus, yesterday. And I know I'm not one to talk, but if you compare Fight Night Khabib to Conor and Khabib, he looked like he was enjoying his life finally again and wasn't thinking about making weight anytime soon. And we know he hates making weight, so good on him. I think he should stay retired. I don't think there's anyone who can beat him, and it's not going to prove anything beating Conor McGregor again. Anyway, we got some comments here.
what we got?
Let's have a little bit. Now, did you have some beef with Paguru on Twitter, John? Because Paguru is
No, there's no beef with Paguru, man.
Hey, John, I'm sorry for what happened on
Paguru
Twitter.
doesn't need to be sorry, man. Like,
I didn't mean it that way.
I wrote a tweet out earlier, and then I erased the tweet and I retweeted it, but I changed it, right? Because I made a mistake on the tweet, and Paguru, he called me out. He's like, "Did you just erase this tweet to write this tweet again?" And I said, "Yeah," and then I said,
Right.
I said in the message, like, are you angry about it or something? Did it bother you? And he said, no. It's like, yeah, he's just kidding. I was like, all right, it's all good. Nick knows me, man. Like, I'm not gonna get like angry from people saying stuff. It's just, like I might scream and yell a little bit here, but it doesn't get to me like under my skin. Like I'm a person that I forget things really quick. Right? Stuff like that, especially.
That's cool. Another comment from Paguru. Yeah, when was the last time Conor cut a money promo? Has been a while. I cannot remember. He was pretty calm during Cerrone fight week. Very calm this fight week. He said a couple of sound bites on the not embedded, the other one. I mean, I knocked Dustin out in 60 seconds. And he walked back on that tonight, didn't he, John? He said, oh, yeah, I said that, but I'm actually expecting this fight to go quite long. And it's going to be a great fight. Anyway, Ong Tia Fio saying, first fight, Conor had hair, Dustin was bald now. Bald Conor hair, Dustin. I like that. That is cool. We want some trash talking in all organizations, including one. It does make it a bit more fun. Yeah, Jim 102. What's up, Jim thing? I think Mac's confidence just isn't there. He got humbled by Khabib. Pagura saying Conor needs to carry the build because Dustin is a bad promo. Dylan, what's up, Dylan? I almost enjoy this more subdued story leading in. It would kind of seem disingenuous to try to judge up the sort of trash talk their first fight had. And then why don't we go to Jim's question here? Where does Conor go if he loses this fight, John?
Well, he goes on to fight somebody else in the lightweight division. and he has a lot of fights, even at welterweight. He has the Nate Diaz fight. People will pay for that. He has the Jorge Masvidal fight. People will pay for that. There's a lot of fights. It doesn't matter how many times Conor loses. I'm let's just say he loses this fight, right? So how many fights has he lost in his last 5? Think about it.
You counting Mayweather?
Yeah, if you count Mayweather, because he was knocked out in that fight too, right?
3
So
of 5, is it?
yeah, 3 of 5. So at what point do people start saying that Conor needs to retire? If he loses this fight, let's say he gets finished in this fight and he goes on and fights, let's say he fights Nate or Masvidal at 170 and he gets finished there. Is that the point where people start saying like McGregor's, he lost it, he needs to retire? When do we start seeing that happening? That's another like question too, you know what I mean? But that's like too far into the future. But Conor, I still think he has it, man. I still think that he has the ability to make a run at the title. I feel like he still has the ability to go out there and knock out anybody in that division. Anybody. He has the skills, man. It's just, is his motivation there? You know what I mean? Because how much stock do you put into that Cowboy win? Because we know Cowboy
Not too much.
never, not never, but most of the time doesn't show up in big moments. And that was just another big moment that he didn't show up. And he said, even I think Cowboy even admitted that he wasn't there. He didn't want to fight. He wasn't there. So this is going to be a real test for Conor. And if Conor can pass this test, then we have the Conor of old, I feel like. But if he goes out there and he looks he did like he did against Khabib, just in a different way, just the way that Dustin puts pressure on guys. Dustin can outlast guys and put them away late, like 3rd, 4th round, 5th round. And then the questions will come about Connor's, like, where is he really in his skill set, in his like preparations, you know what I mean? Because you never know about the preparations, especially with a guy like Conor, right? He controls everything. Everybody else is just basically pieces on a chess table, and he's the king, right?
Mm.
So he'll say, he'll control. So he'll have the control of everything. And I think that this fight is going to answer so many questions about Conor. And if he wins and he goes out there and beats Dustin in 60 seconds, then we know that the old Conor is back. And if Conor wins, I guarantee you he's going to fight somebody next for the title. You know what I think that the UFC wants? This is what I think in my mind, in my demented, crooked mind, right? This is what I think the UFC wants. I feel like the UFC wants Conor to win and Chandler to win. And then they fight each other for the vacant title, because Khabib is most likely not going to come back. And this is the fairy tale right there, right? And I've always told everybody that Michael Chandler is a guy that can be one of those role model type champions for the UFC. That's why the UFC put so much stock in him. That's why they're paying him so much money, because he has the violent style for inside the cage, and he has that mature like professionalism outside the cage. Just look at him, man. He's almost untouchable, you know what I mean? Like in his persona, right? In his character. And I like him a lot. I like Michael Chandler a lot too, man. So I think that's what the UFC wants. Will the UFC get that? Probably not, but that's what the UFC wants, right?
I
So
thought it was funny. You had Conor in his fancy suit. Dustin always wears his crazy colorful shirts, but he still looks pretty stylish. And then you had Chandler in that cool leather jacket. Dan Hooker's in fucking shorts and sandals and a hoodie or whatever. It's like, that's so Dan Hooker. How much would a Dan Hooker win throw a wrench in the spanner in the works? Sorry, for UFC. Like you said, if Hooker wins, would they book him against Conor? Is that a fight you can sell? I'd love to see that fight. Of course, I know you would, but is that something they think the UFC would do?
I doubt it, man. I highly doubt it. It sucks to say, but I don't think the something would have to entice the UFC to put Dan Hooker against Conor, because Dan Hooker also has a terrible style for Conor, right? Dan Hooker is kind of similar to, I don't want to put them too closely together, but I feel like Dan Hooker could go out there and do what Nate Diaz did in the first fight against Conor. He could weather the storm. Dan Hooker
Mm.
got some chin. And because you got to think, the last time we saw Dan Hooker get finished was against Barboza, right? But that wasn't with strikes to the face or the head. That was like body shots, right? So, well, I don't know, man. I think that would be a fun fight, and I feel like if they did match up, I feel like it's going to be a close fight. But I don't know. I don't see the UFC, doing that, man. I don't see the UFC putting that fight together.
All right.
It'd be a hard sell.
Okay. A few more comments. Eddie the Blasian. Hello, Eddie. Good to see you again. Needs to sell the fight for sure. I think that's talking about Conor. Conor just matured. Conor is a money fighter now. Till the well dries up, he'll be in there. Ong saying Conor is in his best shape. Yeah, he looks pretty good. Jim here saying a couple of days ago he was talking about wins and losses don't matter. His mindset just seems different from when he ascended to the top. Jasmine's here. Oh, hey, Jasmine. Hey, sorry I was cooking. But Jasmine was also super impressed with McGregor's maturity. Jasmine, if you're not too busy cooking, I sent you the link if you want to join me and John in this chat, obviously. Come join us. Love to get your thoughts on the press conference. Or if you're too busy, yeah, leave some more comments. Good to see you again. Eddie the Blasian. Oh, I already went there, sorry. Here you go. Daniel saying, why do you think Dustin was sat there looking like he was wondering if he left the stove on? He looked a little shook. Yeah, John, did he seem like he didn't want to be there or something? I don't know. What was your vibe with Dustin Poirier?
Dustin always look like that though,
Yeah,
doesn't he? Like
I
that's
think so.
just like how he is. He just seems like he's uncomfortable in every situation, right? Especially with like social situations or like media situations. Even if you watch the podcast with him and Theo Vaughn, he kind of seems like the same way in that podcast. And Theo Vaughn is a guy that's just like very relaxed, joking around. You know what I mean? Nothing's really serious. And Dustin was the same way in that podcast. I'd recommend watching that podcast. It's pretty funny. Some of the things that Theo Vaughn asked just, Dustin were just ridiculous, and Dustin answers every single question. So it is what it is. But yeah, man, it's a trip, man. Dustin, I think he's ready. I think he's ready to go. He has his coaches, his teammates won, on the previous card, and I feel like he's hyped, man. He's hyped and ready to go. Let's get this going. And also, it's kind of a late start, right? The card. It's not an early start.
Oh, it's beautiful for me. So it's 11
Yeah,
a.m. I'm looking forward to it after the last two,
yeah. It's
which
12
started
p.m. for
out.
me, and yeah, it's 12 p.m. for me, man. That's noon. That's like lunchtime. It's all good.
I'm happy with that. Okay. Couple more comments here. Ong is back saying Conor wins. So you're gonna have Conor, Chandler, Charlie Olives, and Justin in the unofficial lightweight tournament semi-final brackets. Eddie the Blasian here saying, isn't it crazy though? Every convo Conor wins in spectacular fashion while his opponents have to drag it out. Conor's just built differently. He's a born entertainer, and that includes on the mic, doesn't it, John?
Yeah.
He's got that charisma. He could be a WWE star. We all know that. Blaze, what's up, Jasmine? 10 minutes isn't enough to chat about this stuff. I don't know what you mean, but uh,
But
well,
what is it? Yeah, Connor. Imagine if Connor wasn't Irish. Do you think that helps him?
the Irish definitely helps because he's got really great
The
accent.
Irish accent,
Yeah,
and it gives that flair, right? A little bit, like when he
yeah, and he
says
knows how to play it up. It
he
makes
does.
every sound 10 times cooler, I think.
It does, man. You gotta give credit to that too.
Yeah.
Like not everybody's able to do that.
All right. Oh, so Blaze is explaining.
Oh,
I mean, the
she's eating.
food's done in 10 minutes.
Oh, she's gonna be eating in 10 minutes.
Well, you better keep watching then, Jasmine.
You better
I got my
scarf
eye
that
on.
stuff down in 5 minutes.
Tell us what you're making as well. Daniel Walwyn. I'm also watching from China. 11 a.m. PPTV, baby. Cheers, reading answer my queue. Absolutely, Daniel. We love having any questions, interaction. Where are you going to be watching in China? Where are you staying in China? Where are you living? Yeah, I'm Hong Kong. So I guess we're the same time. I don't know. China's huge, so maybe not. 11 a.m. No, that is the same time zone. Yeah, cool. It's awesome, isn't it? I love those morning cars. I've missed them. And you can roll out of bed, not too early, not too late. Get a coffee going, a little breakfast, and some fights. I'm right up for this one, John.
Yeah. I'm gonna be up early anyways. I'm gonna watch the prelims and everything. So, I think that they're really, I think they're really cracking down on these. Did you hear Dana White? He said there's this one guy. He's
Yeah.
waiting for him to turn it on Saturday night or whatever. And I'm like, man,
Oh my God. He
Dana is
said,
really.
yeah, because I was looking at the traffic on our website, and there was a huge surge on this article that we wrote about that illegal streaming stuff. So yeah, clearly people are, oh, what the hell? That's the way you always know when something's big is when it starts going crazy on Google. And I wonder who the unlucky soul is. Is it you? Are you illegally streaming over there, John?
Nah, man. Why would I? I don't even know how people are doing that. I have no idea how you stream to a website. That's something that I don't even want to know because it's not worth it. You know what I mean? Like, what's the point? You know what I mean? What's the point? You're not going to be making too much money off of it because, of course, they're going to get shut down eventually. But I pay a yearly fee, so like, I'm good, man. I'm good with the yearly fee. It's not too much of a hit to my pocket. So, and I get all the UFCs and the Bellators and stuff like that. So it's all good. With this, okay. He's from Hangzhou.
Hangzhou. Daniel, Hangzhou, baby. Yeah, fantastic. Here's a question. PPTV is China's most popular subscription service and only charged around 12 renminbi. I think I pronounced that right. Sorry. One great British pound per card. Wow, that's pretty cheap. Are they just trying to build the numbers? I think so. That makes sense. I don't know how PPTV works, to be honest. In Hong Kong, it's very.
If they're trying to build numbers, why don't they just give it for free?
I don't know. Someone's got to make money somehow.
Yeah.
And to be honest, so many people in China, I guess you can charge them that little. Still going to get lots of subscriptions, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, and MMA is getting huge over there. Fill us in, Daniel. Is it the talk? Because I see some crazy numbers about Zhang Weili. Whenever some of the Chinese fighters fight now, I see crazy social media metrics and things, and I don't know whether it's just like one championship blowing smoke up their ass with their numbers, saying we did 10 million billion views. No, seems like they do have some real traction going there. Fill us in if you do know. 7 a.m. for Jasmine in Georgia, over in Europe. It's going to be
Atlanta, ATL.
Jim over in the UK, I presume, saying it starts at 3 a.m. in the UK. Oh, I used to watch those old UFCs when I was in the UK. Yeah, it was.
Jim.
We were watching the Conor Eddie fight. It was daylight by the time that fight was over. Fun times. Then I had to go to work. Jasmine's making baked salmon. Anyone cares? She gave us a view on Twitch. The Twitch homies. We had 4 views on our last Twitch stream. We're coming for Twitch. That Twitch money. Dana is obsessed about money. Yeah, John, do you think it's unfair for Dana to go after illegal streamers? Or is he well within his right? It's hurting his money, right? It's hurting his bottom.
It's not unfair, man.
Yeah.
It's illegal. There's legal and there's illegal. If it's illegal and it's messing up your business, you're gonna go after them. If you're a business owner or if you run a company, are you just gonna let hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars just fall to the side? Hell no. You're going to invest a couple 100,000 to catch that so you can make back a couple million. That's just business, man. It's not about being obsessed with money. It's about keeping your business afloat. And maybe he is obsessed with money, and maybe that's why he's created this monster, the UFC, right? And he got it to this level because he's obsessed with money. I don't know. But hey,
There was a fun moment where Conor said something in that press conference saying, I think someone was kind of kissing his ass about how he said 10 years ago he dreamed of being rich and now he's here and he's really rich. And then Conor answered, he said, yeah, now I got more money than Dana. Dana looked at him and then they both kind of laughed. Who do you think is richer, Dana White or Conor McGregor?
Dana White's richer, man. Guaranteed. Dana White's richer. I think Dana White is worth I think he's worth like 50 million or something like that. Some crazy, like something 60 million or something. That's a crazy number right there. That's like
Conor's not that much money though, I think.
Conor has that much money?
I think so.
I don't think so.
Just alone from all of his
Because the thing is, like, I don't think Dana spends his money like Conor does. That's the difference.
Okay, we just got our first comment on Twitch, by the way.
Blaze Play. That's a good name. Blaze Play.
Yeah. Damn it. You got a different username for every platform. I like it. Our first comment on Twitch.
I would never change my username for every platform.
No, that's too much effort.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. Yeah, any other observations, John, from the press conference? That's pretty
man, it's just there's not much, man. There was the pay-per-view thing. Dana's gonna go after the guy that's pirating the pay-per-views. Conor has more money than Dana White. That's gonna be a headline in one of these websites, right? Conor McGregor has more money than Dana White. Guaranteed that's gonna be one. If you need to write that, Nick.
I'm paraphrasing. I can't remember the exact quote, but it was something like that.
Okay, so I remember that. I remember hearing that though. And then Conor is still going after Khabib, right? Even though Khabib is retired. Dan Hooker calls Charles Oliveira Charlie Olives, and there was not much from Michael Chandler except for he was complimenting Conor McGregor and everybody else, and then there was that one reporter, he was trying to get the UFC to do a lightweight tournament, which they're kind of doing already with this fight, with these fights, right? But the UFC is never going to do a tournament. I don't understand why people keep pushing for a tournament. They're never going to do a tournament. It's not going to happen. They don't even do the closest thing to a tournament is the Ultimate Fighter, and they don't even consider that a tournament. So I don't know what the obsession is with tournaments. Well, there's a lot of other promotions that do tournaments.
Okay. Jasmine's off. Go enjoy that baked salmon.
Yes.
See you tomorrow. Daniel. Yeah, Fedor and Daniel. Honestly, I don't know what the numbers are like. I can only base it on the talk around town and my social media pages in China. And very rarely will I see a post about UFC or Weili. Strange, I guess. I always wanted to know, yeah. Are they just blowing smoke over in China about MMA being huge there now?
We got a comment from one of the founding fathers of the United States of America, Andrew Carnegie.
Okay, Dana made 400 million, says Andrew, from sale to IMG. Probably banked half of that. Conor's whiskey easily has a valuation of 500 million. Conor is on track to being, if he isn't already, wealthier than Dana. There you go, John. I thought Conor's probably got more money than Dana.
See, from the valuation is different from real money, right? You should know that, right?
I don't know. I'm terrible with money. I don't know anything about it.
Who's the richest person in the world? Do you know?
Not me. That's it.
The Queen of England is the richest person in the world. Did you know that?
I didn't. I thought it was Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, whatever, one of those guys.
Steve Jobs is dead.
See, okay. I'm thinking of Amazon guy.
Well, Amazon guy is in business, yes, But there's people like in the Middle East richer than the Amazon guy. But the richest person in the world is the Queen of England. Her money goes back hundreds of years, thousands of years. She has her own bank,
Mm.
right? And then just look at what she owns countries. She owns countries, man. Like when you own
Queen.
countries and then you own like what's inside the countries, that's like how can you even calculate that, right? It's just crazy.
God save the Queen. How
Exactly, man. And I love that show, The Crown. That's like one of my favorite shows ever.
everyone raving about it. I haven't got to it yet.
Oh, really? I've seen every single episode, man. Like I love it. But anyways,
It was-
I'm just kidding about the Queen of England. I don't know if she's the richest person. I just heard that on a documentary of I saw that on a documentary about secret societies and Bilderberg groups, and we need Leon on here because he would go into it deep with us and just get lost in the sauce with conspiracies. But yeah,
Well,
this is what I
we'll have
heard.
We'll have Leon back tomorrow, I think, for our
Yeah, for
first
the
championship fight companion of the new year.
oh,
Which
you guys doing that?
yeah, we won't have the fights on, but we will be talking.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? It's a bit of fun. Dana Stitch Duran was never my friend. uh, here we go. Sam.Roy. How do people call themselves journalists and then pick up Dana's version of Habib's decision and flow along like Habib said?
Because it's clicks.
It's clicks, yeah.
It's it's what it's what media is nowadays. You know, I mean, there's many sides to the media, and and some people work different angles, but it's about clicks at the end of the day. You know what I mean? There's people that do different types of journalism. It's not all the same. So you gotta, you know, if you don't like it, you don't have to read it. You just avoid it. You know what I mean? But they're still journalists, man. Like people, like major newspapers, major media companies hire people to just write that stuff. Right, Nick? It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. People are hired and you don't even know their faces. You don't even know their names, but they're journalists. They probably went to journalism school, very educated, and their job at a company would be to just write that kind of stuff, right? And it's just the truth, man. It's not something that is like a hidden secret or something like that. It just happens, man. It's part of it. So, if you don't like it, of course, a lot of people don't like it. It's you have the right to have an opinion and to criticize it, but it's just part of media nowadays, man. The media is just the Wild West. It's become like the Wild West.
Yeah.
Before it was more tame, right? But now it's like every media for every sport is the Wild West.
I think MMA media especially is based on access. We all know that.
Mhm.
And if you write something pretty negative or perceived to be negative, you'll have that access yanked. You can't go to the shows. You can't hang out with your buddies in the media. You can't hang out with your fighter friends. Everyone just wants to be part of the circus, John.
Exactly.
They don't want to have
And
their access revoked.
yeah,
So
it's like the 90s, teen rom-com videos where they're in high school and you're the nerd trying to be cool with the cool high school kids, you know what I mean? Like with the jocks and the cheerleaders and that's what the journalist is. It's the guy, the nerd that's trying to be with the jocks and date the
MMA
cheerleaders,
media,
right?
it's pretty
Huh?
tough. Like when my first experience at MMA media, like seemed really cutthroat. And a few people have told me this from their experience of the Vegas like scene. Everyone's out to get each other a little bit. There's not much camaraderie. There are all these cliques, and no one really on the same page. Whereas I feel when I go to shows in Asia, everyone's just kind of there having a good time, and everyone gets on, and it's really fun. But I haven't been to Vegas yet, so I can't comment too much on that. I don't know, John. How did you feel it was when we went to Busan? I guess that was slightly different. How have you experienced at the shows you've been to?
Well, Asia is like, especially pertaining to the UFC, Asia is like the dirty stepchild of MMA for the UFC, right? not everybody will fly over here. It's just like, it's happening, just let it happen. That he's part of the family, but not really. That's what it is like. Because when you go to the shows in Asia, it's very limited, man. There's not many people there, except for either it's like local media or a couple people, and it's very rare. Like John Morgan was there one time. I've seen John Morgan at 2 shows on this side of the world, and he's probably been to more. I just only seen him twice. One was like the first show in Korea, and then I saw him for Bellator in Japan, in Tokyo. And yeah, John Morgan, he's like one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, and he's been doing it for a long time, man. You got to give him respect. And but he just does his own thing, you know what I mean? Like, he's a guy, he's doing his job, he gets in and gets out, and you got to respect him for that, man. It's not like he's part of a clique, or I never seen it myself, because I guess you got to go to Vegas to actually see with your own eyes, you know what I mean? And I've never been to Vegas, so it's hard for me to comment on that. But yeah, in Japan, in Busan, like, there was nobody there from like MMA Junkie or MMA
Mm.
Fighting, or any like North American outlets. Was there? Did you see any? I didn't see anybody.
Some people told me the Mac Life were there in some capacity. I think Leon told me that, but
I
I
didn't
don't think
see
they
it.
were. I remember my video of the Alistair Overeem did. Remember that Q&A with us after
Mhm,
the face-offs, yeah,
mhm.
weigh-ins, and then my video, a bunch of websites from the American media used my video of that. We got a bunch of hits. It was pretty cool. So I think, yeah, I was the only, me and Leon, only white guys there.
Remember, I almost got in trouble.
What?
Remember during the Alistair interview or the Q&A?
Yeah, you asked about Rico Verhoeven and Badahari or what?
Yeah, they're fighting on UFC Fight Pass, which UFC owns, right? And carries these fights, and Alistar is a guy who comes from kickboxing, who's a legend in kickboxing, who has competed against those guys, and it's just some people are just not educated on that, and they were like wondering, like, can we even ask him that during the Q&A? And I'm like, oh my god, what are they talking about?
Yeah, it was weird because he didn't seem to mind, did he? At all?
No, but it was like, he's just doing his job, man. He just wanted to like answer the questions, right? But that they're like, yeah,
Mm.
the people, they have no idea. A lot of the people, they only know the UFC, so if it's not talking about a UFC fighter, they think it's off limits or something. It was weird, man. It was very weird.
I remember I was right next to you, or
Yeah,
3
and
feet.
this was like you didn't even really know me. I
Mm.
think that's like
Yeah,
the first time we
but
saw each
yeah,
other, and you're
just
probably
love him.
like, "Who's this idiot?"
No, I remember you were fucking really tall, and I pictured you'd be like kind of only a little bit bigger than me. I'm pretty short. I'm like 5'6", but what are you, John? Like 6 foot?
Damn near.
Yeah.
Definitely not over that. But yeah, that was just a funny moment, man. I feel like, people were, cuz like there was a guy translating for Alistar, right? For the
Mm.
local media. And I think he got confused. So it's just a misunderstanding, man. But Alistar was really cool, man. That was right after he got knocked
The
out
lip.
by Jairzinho, and his lip
Yeah,
looked like it was perfect.
yeah. That was what the video everyone used. They used my video for that story. Like, oh, my lip
Yeah.
looks pretty now because I tweeted it. I think it blew up on
Mhm.
social media. Um,
That's one
if
advantage of not having
yeah,
people over here, right?
yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
I imagine, yeah, if we had not had all that crazy stuff from 2020, we probably would have got to a few more UFC shows and had some good access that
Oh,
America.
definitely, dude. I think we would have had a lot of good access. We would have even went to the Ryzen shows, you know?
Yeah, and we were going to go to the Dana White's Contender Series Asia at the Shanghai Performance Institute. We were going to have exclusive stuff for that SCMP. Hopefully, it happens again. Ong saying the Schmo went to 1 Century. Yeah, I met the Schmo and I met Helen. They were both there. Really nice guy, the Schmo. He was super awesome. I remember he was struggling to take out money from the ATMs, they wouldn't accept his card because in Asia they have a real problem with using foreign cards. You've got to set it up before you fly and go over there, and if you don't, you're fucked because you can't, get on. You can't change it. I used to have that problem all the time when I came on holiday to Asia.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Eddie the Blasian. Can we get that fantasy link again, guys? Oh, never
Of
mind. I
course,
see it.
man.
Don't
Let's
worry, Eddie.
get
I
it.
still gotta say it. Here it is. Getfanatics.app. You can go to the App Store. You can download it there, or you can have a little look at this banner I'm about to put on. There it is. Download Fanatics Fantasy MMA. There's a link at the end of this scrolling ticker thing here, which will take you straight to the SCMP MMA group in the app, and then you can compete all against us. Did I see you in the group, Eddie? Have you joined up? Did you
I
miss
think
the
he
show?
has.
Okay. All right. We did our recap earlier today, me and Chris. Chris is struggling down at the basement of this SCMP group. I didn't do too badly. Did okay. Good second week for me. Let's
You
get back
guys,
to
you guys love like holding on to that, like that 1 week where I didn't pick
yeah.
very well. You guys are
Yeah.
holding on to that really.
Of
I
course,
love it. I love that you're holding on to it because when I get into this group and I win the group, I'm gonna be shitting all over everybody, dude. It's just gonna be like phenomenal.
yeah.
But it just sucks that I'm not in the group yet. But anyways, it's gonna be hold on to it, man. Milk it while you can milk it.
I will milk it. I'm gonna make as much as I can of it. I know you're probably gonna, as soon as Korea stops banning this app for violent content.
Yeah, I think it's North Korea's doing it, man. They're blocking the signals or something. Damn North Koreans.
Jim says that's amazing. Remember when he won the K1 Grand Prix? Talk about Overeem here. Yeah, feels like a lifetime ago now.
It was a lifetime ago. I saw him fight live in Seoul, Alistair Overeem, and man, this was when he was Ubereem. This was when he was like 265 pounds and shit. Just like he looked like an action figure. And I watched him fight K1. It was insane. Like you could hear him like he's like yak. Like the arena was like yak. Like when he hit, like body kicks to the body, it was like yak. Just insane, man. I never expected him to be in the UFC at that time because I thought he was just gonna be kickboxing. But here we are, man. He's still fighting. Amazing.
Yeah. Eddie, looks like Eddie's going to download the app. That's good news. Anyone else in this group, please go download this app. Join our group. It's really fun. Fanatics Fantasy MMA. It's just a pretty fun app, isn't it, John? I know you haven't actually got it. You can't. I still appreciate you putting out a plug on Twitter last night during the show. How about we move?
They still put me on the show. Did you see me last night on the broadcast?
I saw you on there, yeah.
I
What,
don't
you
know
thought they
how I
weren't?
get on there. Huh?
You thought they weren't going to? They always put you on.
I know that's a trip, right? Like I don't understand that.
I made my first ever tweet during a UFC live show, I think, and I don't think I got on. I said Mason Jones has an insane chin. Hashtag UFC Fight Island 8. I didn't see it flash up. So
yeah, they're kind of selective on what they put up, but then somehow I get on there, so
I just don't like tweeting because I'm thinking, what can I tell you that Daniel Cormier, Paul Felder, John Anik can't tell you already? I've got nothing to add to this.
After I put up those tweets, I fell asleep.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like right after I put those tweets up, I was like, all right. I was asleep and then I woke up and I was like, oh, the fights were over. It was the morning.
I had a rough sleep. I had to wait for Sumadaji to fight so Matt Scott could file his piece on Sue, the Tibetan Eagle.
Yeah. Well, if I had to write something or something was, some kind of work or something was involved, I probably would have stayed up and just watched everything all the way through. But sometimes you gotta get your sleep, man. If there's no work to be done, you can't. I just woke up and caught the fights afterwards because I have that service that shows all the fights, but I did watch it. And one thing good about that service, what they do is they put up the full fights and then they put up the highlights of each round in another video, so you could kind of like skim through the whole fight in like if it's like a 25-minute fight, you could get like a 12-minute video of highlights, which is actually very convenient.
Yeah, I was just kind of skipping all the garbage between fights, the intros and outros, just pure bell rings, right at the end. Skimming over it this morning. Anyway, on saying, is Helen and the Schmo work together or separate? I think the Schmo has his own brand in social media. I don't think he writes for anyone, just does video for his own channel and his own channels on YouTube, Instagram, things like that. I think Helen actually works for I can't remember the name. But they're like they're a team in terms of, she holds the camera when he interviews and vice versa. Double act. All right, what about this then? Let's look at Darren Till. This was kind of fun. I'm just gonna warn you all. There's some strong language here from Darren, aka Karen Till. He's running with this, guys. He actually christened himself Darren Till. I'm gonna have to do that again.
I haven't seen
I need
that.
some automatic setting. If the StreamYard gods are listening because I always forget to click share audio when I share these screen things. Anyway, I've done it this time. Okay, let's have a look. It's really funny if you haven't seen it.
Do not touch my vehicle. Go away right this minute. Do not touch my vehicle. Tell him to he's looking at me to me. Go away. Mate, you need to go away. I ain't checking nothing. Do what you want, lad. Go away.
I'm going to check your tyres before you leave.
Do what you want.
I've already told you that I'm going to do it.
Get off my door right now.
I need to move.
Get off my door. Go that way. Do you think I'm going to make you? Fuck off. Mate, you're a sad loser, you know. You're a loser. Get off my car now. Get off my car. Oh, what are you doing, mate? What you think you've got some kind of man? Get out my car, you soft cunt. Hey, you need to, not you, mate, you know what you are, son. He needs to get a life. Right, move. Bye-bye. You fucking loser. You're a loser. Fucking muppet.
What is
See that, people? Right? I've come out. Let me just get my seatbelt on so this cunt can't fucking get me.
Oh my god, that's better than I remembered. I watched it this morning.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. Hey, Darren Till, he's a legend, man. He's like a cult character now.
You ain't
he's a good fighter, but now he's just become this cult figure for everybody. It's just his social media, like that picture, the profile picture.
He's changed his profile to Karen Till. His bio is, "Can I talk to the manager?" He's having fun with it. I like that. Yeah,
he's one of the best, man. He's one of the best out there. Like, if you don't follow him on social media, like you're doing a disservice. He's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, because when I first watched that, I thought, Darren, you've been so precious. So basically, that video cut off there at the end. What Darren said after that was the reason he was stopped by the police is because he wasn't wearing a mask coming out of the petrol station on the way he was driving to the gym. So the police asked him, "Why don't you have a mask?" And then he said, "I have an exemption because I broke my nose in my last fight." So he apparently has an exemption. And they said, "Okay, well, where's your exemption? We need to see proof." And he said, "I haven't got it." And then it kicked off that big argument. But
there's exemptions for not wearing a mask?
I don't think that's a thing. No.
Jesus Christ, man. He kind of, if that's true, then he's just basically incriminating himself with the video. Yeah. Right? So hopefully he does have an exemption, but I've never heard any exemption for not wearing a mask. If there is, I would think a lot more people are trying to go get those exemptions then, because I would.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not a fan of the masks either, but I wear them all the time.
I'm more than happy to wear a mask. I think Darren could have just put on a mask there and it would have avoided that whole situation. But Here's Andrew saying, to be fair, that cop was slightly harassing and definitely a muppet. Give the man a warning and move on.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
But he
mean,
probably might know who he is too, you know?
at what point do you think Darren whipped out the Instagram live? That was the funny thing, is he's like, I'm gonna Instagram live. It was very Karen-esque, wasn't it, John? Just
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
putting you on Facebook. I'm putting
Well, the thing is, like, that's what Darren Till would do.
yeah.
You wouldn't expect anything, you know, anything else. This is Darren Till. This is him. We love him for that. And he is Karen Till now. From now on, he's Karen Till. Like, until he fights again and wins, he's Karen Till.
Mm.
Right? The UFC should promote him as Karen Till. Karen the Gorilla Till. That's funny.
You're a loser.
Yeah, it's like, fucking Muppet. That's the best one. He called him a Muppet.
He gave me
You
a
know,
good.
that's
yeah.
worse. That's worse than the other word that he called him. You know what I mean? The Muppet. He's like, you fucking Muppet. That's great, man. He's awesome. Like, you cannot deny that he's awesome. Like, people
love
love Ben Askren, but I think Darren Till is like 10 times better. You know, just and he's from Liverpool, man. Like, Liverpool guys, they have like the gritty British UK accent, right? They're the grittiest accent. Is that true? Liverpool has probably the grittiest accent.
There's a lot of accents. I mean, the Welsh accent, Scottish, are all kind of very strong. Geordies, from Newcastle. Trying to think, Manchester have pretty strong. There's like 100 dialects, man. It's always funny when I see US TV shows, and if you're a British character on a US TV sitcom, you either have the really posh voice or the Cockney geezer. They forget there's so many accents in all of Britain. Thing is crazy. Anyway, Andrew Carnegie. Oh no, here's another comment. Yeah, article I read said current UK guidelines detail several scenarios where people don't need to wear a mask, including an elite sports person, professional dancer, or referee acting in the course of employment. So maybe Darren. Maybe he has got an exemption, not a redemption.
He's gonna need redemption after that, right? Because he's Karen Till.
What's your
KT.
accent? Can't pin it. Are you an Eton boy? I'm not an Eton boy. I grew up in Greenwich. That's southeast London, around there. Lewisham, Greenwich. I was kind of in the middle of those two. Southeast London, yeah, that's where I'm from.
Now I want to go back to that. It says elite sports person or professional dancer. So do you think professional dancer means stripper?
That could be, yeah.
Man, how did they slide that in?
I don't know.
The parliament must have some interesting hobbies, right? Like, what's going on? You got elite sports person, professional dancer, and referee. So 2 of these are involved in sports, and one of them is.
Which article is this, Andrew? Where did you read this?
It doesn't matter, man. Now we're going with it. We're gonna flow with this article that he brings up, right? Because professional dancer, I want to know the details of what exactly a professional dancer is. Is it a pole dancer? Is it a stripper? Is it a ballet dancer? What kind of dancers? Or maybe they're all grouped into this professional dancer, right? So if you're a ballet dancer or if you're a stripper, it's both the same. And I would put them in the same category. Why not? They're both out there to.
What's a referee?
Express their body.
Referee or what? I'm confused.
What is this? Do you watch the animations of Mujahid? No, I don't know who that is.
Sorry, you got us there. Andrew was asking something else earlier. Oh, look who's here. One Championship UK. Jesus, what's up? What an interesting time to join. Yeah, you've really caught the quality end of this podcast. If you missed it, we were just discussing Darren Till's or Karen Till's
Yeah.
video.
Karen
may
the
sh-
Gorilla Till,
Might show it again just for
aka
laughs.
KT.
Yeah,
And
but I
watch it one more.
missed these from Andrew earlier. Sorry. Conor reigned in the animosity, but he's still saying he will finish Dustin, and he's levels above Dustin. Dustin never even said he was coming for the W. Do you think the press conference is giving him flashbacks? I can see Conor predictions, smirk, confidence, and super yacht parked outside the hotel being annoying to Dustin. What do you guys think?
I don't think I don't read into it that deep, to be honest with you. I feel like Dustin, he's confident going in, man. He has one of the best teams in the world, one of the best coaches in the world. And if you don't know, Mike Brown was just in Japan, and Horiguchi, who was knocked out by Kai Kara France, went in the rematch and knocked out Kai Kara France in the first round with a superb game plan, executed beautifully. And I feel like Dustin's gonna go in there and he's gonna have a great game plan, and he's gonna go in there and he's gonna be bigger, stronger, tougher, with a better chin, and it's gonna be fun, man.
I just want to see if there are any Karen Till memes. There must be some already, right, Joe?
There's gotta be Karen Till memes.
Oh, look at this tweet he did.
What is it?
Oh, okay.
Put those up. What did he say?
I'm glad that press conference was professional. Didn't want to have to put a complaint in. So good. People must be.
Oh, there you go. There you go. There you go.
Oh, God. Easy.
Who is that?
Well, that's
Who
the
is that
cop.
picture? Oh, that's the cop? No way. They got a
On the
picture of the
right.
cop?
The cop is the cat. You know the meme, right? Where it's like,
Yeah.
the cat is the cop.
Oh, shit.
Shit.
Let's see the next one. Is there any more memes? He must have put up a bunch of memes by now.
He replied to MMA fighting,
For what?
putting up the video saying, "Please delete it or I'll report you." Offended. Oh God,
Darren.
Classic. All right, so he's living the gimmick. I like this.
Yeah.
This
It's beautiful, man. Like, what is it? He's embracing it, you know, like like Colby Covington was embracing the whole "Make America Great Again" thing. He's embracing it. Might as well roll with the punches, man. And I feel like people will jump on and support him in his crusade to be the most Karen of Karens. Right? Why not? And imagine his next fight leading up to it. Is he gonna go full Karen on everybody? He has to. He has to go full Karen on everybody. Like, he's gonna snitch on everybody.
Full
right?
Karen.
He's got to. Man, I'm looking forward to his next fight. I wonder who he's gonna fight, and I hope he fights somebody that hates him, like Marvin Vettori. I think Marvin Vettori would be a good one. I think he could get under his skin really good. I think it's gonna be fun to watch that.
Andrew, so is the Cockney accent not the part of London where you're from, Nick? Oh yeah, there's plenty of that around. I used to have a bit of the Cockney accent. It's sounds weird, but once I became a journalist or started training to become a journalist, I used to listen back to my interviews and I hated the sound of my voice. And I kind of retaught myself to speak. I did like elocution. I just wanted to retrain my voice to sound, because I mumbled a lot when I was younger and I had this Cockney mumble and no one could tell what the fuck I was saying. I couldn't even tell what I was saying when I listened back to the tapes of my interviews. So I made an effort to just slow down and what's the word, like accentuate words and things, especially doing more video now. So I feel like my accent is completely weird. You can't place it anywhere, and I'd never heard anyone who speaks like me on planet Earth. I don't know what else to say. I hope it's okay. I hope you can understand me, guys. And John, is my accent understandable?
Yeah, man. I have no
Thank-
problem.
I like that.
You know who
Alright.
you need to talk to? You
Who?
need to talk to Peter Yan's boxing coach,
Oh,
Johnny.
Johnny Boy, yeah.
Yeah, Johnny Boy. Have you heard him speak?
No, he's got a thick Irish accent,
He's
right?
got the thick Irish accent, like real thick. You know, like he's a guy that you really have to listen carefully to like really understand what he's talking about. And yeah, but he's one of the coolest guys you'll speak with, man. He's Peter Yan's boxing coach,
Yeah.
man. Like Peter Yan is
He told a cool story before just that fight weekend when Jan won the belt. He was telling Matt Scott, our freelancer, the first day that Peter Yan turned up, he couldn't understand what the fuck I'm saying. I couldn't understand what the but you didn't need to because he was that good, you know.
yeah.
We'll get through that. Eddie, see you at the fights, fellas. Got to work a little. Thanks to chat. See you later, Eddie. Yeah, we'll be back for One Championship Unbreakable. We'll be having a live fight companion tomorrow night.
Unbreakable. Like I don't even know. That sounds like some like K-pop song or something.
Is that not Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt?
No,
Is that what
is that the show Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt? I guess it is. I guess it is.
Now you put it
Hey,
in my head. Thank
what
you.
you watch? Have you seen that show?
I love it. Yeah.
That guy, what is it? Dramadan or whatever.
Titus Andromedon. Yeah.
That guy is one of the best characters ever on
Yeah.
any show in the history of TV, man.
Yeah,
He
okay.
is. Does he really act like that, or is it just
I
that
don't
his
know.
character?
He's so good. Seriously. Yeah.
He's one of the best ever, man. I think it should be his show, to be honest with you.
I
Like,
wouldn't mind a spin off something. Yeah.
yeah, he is the best, man. Like some of the stuff that some of the writers are so good too, man. It's just so funny.
Yeah.
I
It's like
like
another level of comedy that
yeah, it's
it's a
so
shame it's finished, but
yeah, he needs his own show, man. If you never seen Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, you gotta go watch that just because of what is it? What's his name?
Titus Andromedon is
Yeah,
the character.
Titus Andromeda. That's not his real name. That was his name that he gave himself. But yeah, like,
I forgot this. Yeah, it's funny.
yeah, he's hilarious. Or just YouTube it and just
Yeah.
look for highlights of the character. It's crazy. Yeah, we might as well just do this question and bounce, man.
Yeah, predictions for Shinya Aoki v James Nakashima. We'll have a full one preview tomorrow, but I guess we can do this fight. Yeah, how about I was thinking this is going to be really tough to predict. I don't know. I really don't know because James Nakashima is coming down from welterweight, where he just challenged for the title there and did pretty well, I thought, until he got caught by Cameron Abasov. But as I think was it you or Chris was saying, he's a bit of a small welterweight, so he might be perfect for this division. And I think when we saw Shinya Aoki up against Ben Askren at welterweight, it was complete domination. I just think James Nakashima might be too big for Shinya, but it's always really tough to bet against Shinya Aoki. Oh, I'm not going to make my official pick. You're going to have to tune in on to the One Championship Unbreakable preview show tomorrow with me, myself, Chris, and Jasmine. I'm going to put John in the firing line though here. John.
I'm gonna take Nakashima. I think Nakashima might be able to do what Ben Askren did against Aoki.
Yeah,
And I don't think Aoki's the same fighter as he was even like 2 years ago. I feel like he's declining somewhat, and I think James is actually building up to becoming someone that is in his prime. And when you meet guys like that at that point in their careers, you always got to go with the guy that's coming up, that's hungrier, that hasn't been at the top and has the skill set and the size to beat the old lion, right? And I think James could possibly do that. But who knows, man? Aoki, he always seems like he always pulls a rabbit out the hat once in a while, man, and this could be it. So we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna go with James. You know what I mean? I think James can get it done.
All right. Yeah, I did mean to talk briefly. I guess we can just discuss it very
And
quickly.
you could get the Fanatics app to make your picks on this card coming up, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, guys, you know what it is. The link's there on the ticker. It's in the description. Fanatics, get fanatics.app. I did briefly want to just say Fedor Emelianenko has COVID. This is just going around on Twitter. Is it bad? Is this why everyone is talking about it? Is it just your run-of-the-mill fighter gets COVID, or is he suffering some symptoms? What did you see, John?
Well, if he is actually in the hospital, like he's an inpatient, like suffering from complications, then yes, it's very concerning. But we don't know from like headlines that he's actually in that spot, right? He might have just went to the hospital just because he had COVID to get tested, and people are saying he's in the hospital, right? So we don't know exactly the whole situation. I haven't read too much into it. I just saw a couple tweets about it. So hopefully Fedor's all right, man. And he's a big, strong guy. You know, he's an athlete. He's not that old, to be honest with you. I don't even think is he 40 years old yet? I don't even think he's 40 years old yet. Maybe this article will tell us.
44.
Oh, he's 44.
He posted saying, "I feel fine."
Oh,
Oh
see?
God, got video.
Overreacting.
I feel fine. I'm going into recovery. I'm grateful to the doctors and medical staff for their care and work.
Oh, Karen was there?
For their care and hard work.
Oh, okay. The Karen was there. I was like, what?
That's why I told myself to speak properly, because I was just
no, I'm just messing with you. It's Darren Till, you know. I was like, was Darren Till there? That's what I'm just trying to. But yeah, hey, we just seen it, right? So within the last hour, it went from Fedor's in the hospital, he has COVID, to Fedor's out of the hospital, he's all good, right? So
that's good.
You know, with the word hospitalized is something that it's a tricky word right there, right? Very tricky word. Because you could be hospitalized and get released an hour later.
Yeah, in our style guide for SCMP, if you write hospitalized, it flags it on the system, and there's a big description of why you should never use the word hospitalized because of what you're saying, and they say that just say taken to hospital. Things. Yeah, there's some kind of semantics about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, good to see Fedor is seemingly okay.
Look, he's in the woods. You know, if you're in the woods, you're all right.
He busted out of hospital already. He's just in the woods. Okay. Well, I guess
that throw some kettlebells around soon.
That about wraps it up, I guess, John. So I think everyone is bailing on us anyway in the comments. Thank you all, guys, for interacting and chatting. And yeah, if you haven't yet, go get fanatics.app. Download it. Join us in the
Fanatics.
Yeah, that's it. I've got nothing else to say. I'll see you all tomorrow. We'll be back for One Championship, Unbreakable. We're going to have a little preview, and then we're going to jump into the Fight Companion. What is it, 8:30 Singapore time? Whatever that is, your place in the world. Figure it out. I won't do it for you. I'll see you there, guys. And